Let go, let go, let go. Ladies and gentlemen, what's happening? Welcome to another edition of The Player and the Fan. I am yours truly, David Noel, the player, the coach. And we have with us our very special co-host. Her name is Quierra. What's happening, lady?
Hey, Floozy. Good morning. I don't know why we're so jolly after a loss last night, but
Man, listen, because we get basketball in quarantine. Even though our boys took the L, we still get basketball in quarantine. So it's still good.
it is, and I don't know, I accept moral victories, even though like we lost last night. To me, is there such thing as a good loss?
Absolutely. But and then so again, I think we're getting a little bit ahead of ourselves. But let's hold on for a second before we dive all into it, because I know the people they want to know what happened last night. And ladies and gentlemen, we will get to that. And just understand, I told y'all from the beginning, this team would probably have about 7 losses on the season. We had 2 already. So, and again, if we continue to play the game, we will lose a couple more. So understand that this year's North Carolina team, although it isn't as bad as last year's team, this still is not a national championship team. So everybody, let's sit back, relax, lower your expectations a little bit. Now there is one bug I will throw out there that our Tar Heels might feel good about, but I'll wait to do that a little bit later.
Okay, all right. Well, let's recap last night. North Carolina against the Iowa Hawkeyes. Carolina lost 93-80. Our player of the game was Garrison Brooks with 17 points, who I'm shocked even played. He finished with 17 and 8, followed by not too far.
You said you're shocked? You shocked that he played?
I was shocked he started because he hadn't had a full practice since Texas, because coach said he sprained his ankle. So I was a little shocked that he started.
Well, I was at practice the other day, and he was in the practice.
But did you text me and say, "Hey, Garrett,
you're right.
You didn't see that
You're
your
right.
fault."
You're right, I did, but I never knew he was out either. Like
Yeah.
I knew he sprained his ankle, but I never knew that they were kind of trying to rule him out of the game. I never knew that. So you ain't give me your media credential stuff either. You know what I'm saying?
Well,
so
Monday, we asked about Garrison, and he said that he sprained his ankle against Texas, and he hadn't really had a full practice. So I was a little shocked he started. But yeah, he finished with 17 and 8, followed by a phenomenal Day'Ron Sharp, even though he finished with 4 fouls with 13 and 6. So yeah. But the bad point is we had 18 turnovers, I'm sorry, and only 14 second chance points, which Coach Williams drilled a hole in last night. He did not like those second chance points being only 14. And even worse, only 9 points off of Iowa's turnovers. So those were the 2 things that he did not like at all. Turnovers were an issue for him. But
the turnovers are a major issue. Yeah. And again, it's because we aren't playing the type of basketball that we're capable of playing right now. And again, that's just getting a little bit more seasoned inside the season. The thing that I think coach can definitely harp on, or that against Iowa, I really wasn't expecting either, was even though we did do a great job on the backboards, Iowa is a good team. They're number 3 in the nation for a reason. And North Carolina isn't like right now. And that's okay. That's okay. We're what, 5 games in? That's okay right now, especially with this particular season. Now, I know as a fan of the game and as a fan of North Carolina, you want to see them do well right away, right out the jump. But also, like me, from a coach's perspective, you take the good that you've been working on and understand that, okay, these are things that are going to continue to progress throughout the season. So the second chance points and all that kind of stuff against Iowa, I never really expected that, because Iowa is a good team. They're gonna box you out. They're gonna be first to the floor, or they're gonna try to compete to get to the ball first. So those are some of the things that, again, against a team like Iowa, that's number 3 in the nation, very well coached, got a dominant big man, and has tremendous shooting on the outside. Those are things that you really couldn't necessarily, it was a toss-up. It was kind of a 50-50 type deal when it comes to this particular game against Iowa. Now, against everybody else, absolutely. You can kind of expect that, or that's what you want from your team because that's North Carolina's identity. But at the end of the day, some teams can take you away from your identity, and Iowa did that last night.
Can I just say one thing? I love your shirt. Where did you get that?
This is, hey, shout out to the homie, all Lamar Clothing. This got the little, you know, it say UNC, but it got the NWO feel. You know what I'm saying? I like yours too. That's a little tough.
Let me show you something little bit though. We got the
oh, it got the chips on the back. Hey, all Lamar, boy, you doing your thing when it comes to these shirts, player. I like that, man. Shout out to our guy at all Lamar Clothing on Instagram. Please go follow, shout him out, and you can order these shirts whenever you want to. You know what I'm talking about? Shout out to B-Dot too. I always say, you know what I'm talking about, and I don't never get that man credit. But whatever. I'll be stealing stuff.
All right, so let's look at some of the mishaps of last night that led to Carolina's 13-point loss against Iowa. David has some plays lined up that he wants to know. And we're
this is a new segment that we're calling Dino's Breakdowns. And we're gonna use clips, or not necessarily clips, just the game recap from ESPN to show you guys these clips. And again, please don't think that this is any type of inside news. This is just me, David Noel, breaking down film as a coach. So this isn't anything inside or that I know or from the coaching staff and all that kind of stuff. This is simply just me breaking down the film, trying to give you guys a better understanding of what's actually happening on the floor and what North Carolina can possibly do better in certain situations. So Quierra is going to share her screen. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Again, this is just Dino's film breakdown. This is not, again, anything inside information or anything like that, just so you guys know. So for me, if this ball goes into Luka Garza right here, and again, North Carolina gave up 17 threes last night. That means they were going to do one or two things. They were going to take away Luka Garza, which for me, it made sense, but it didn't make sense because we have 4 big men that we can throw at Luka Garza. So if we have 4 big men that we can throw at Luka Garza, and they all have length, because Luka is a guy that likes to get position, and he needs to score around you, not necessarily over you. Our bigs had the length to be able to slow Luka Garza down, which they did last night. So the double teams didn't necessarily, I wasn't expecting us to double team him a lot. Here and there made sense, but here we go. So if I'm going to be watching this on my screen too, so if I look away, that's why. Ball goes into the paint. Play it for me, Quierra. Pause it. Right there on the double team with RJ Davis. If we are going to double that, Leaky Black has to rotate right away. And then, so in this clip, the fact that RJ went back to his man as Leaky was closing out made me feel like RJ just kind of went to double team on his own. Which at the end of the day, that's why we started to give up so many threes. So again, and this is as a freshman. As a freshman, he's trying to the hype of Luka Garza has come inside this game tremendously. Yeah. So everybody's like, oh, we got to stop Luka Garza. Oh, we got to stop Luka Garza. Not realizing that most of the three-point shooters around him are 35%, 36% better three-point shooters. So we have to understand that. So play it for me. So as this ball comes out, bang, we don't rotate. We don't get over quick enough. And now we're giving up threes. And again, that's a freshman. Again, kind of once he starts to learn this a little bit, he'll be able to read that situation a little bit better. Now we're going to move ahead to the 53-second mark on this clip. All right, we got a high pick and roll right here. pick and roll happens. I want y'all to watch before we play this clip. There's a mismatch. I've always said, and again, this is my philosophy. Mismatches don't kill you. Open shots do. There's a mismatch. We have Caleb Love in the paint on one of their bigs. Walker Kessler is out on the wing, guarding one of their guards. That's okay. That's fine. If you have an opportunity to switch it, go ahead and try to switch back. So that means as this ball is going to come off of this high pick and roll, Kessler should run down and relieve Caleb Love so Caleb can get back. What happens is, go ahead and play it. Caleb gets stuck in help side. And then as he's closing out, Kessler takes his man, so it makes it a much longer closeout for Caleb. And so now in his closeout, instead of him chopping his feet, he tries to run him off the line, but the Iowa player does a great job of pump faking, side dribble, and he knocks it down. So those are the little things that North Carolina can do before these situations happen. See, either Kessler stays on his man and he's the one that closes out, or they go ahead and switch it early enough to where Caleb isn't the help guy and also the closeout guy. Let that clip play a little bit longer. Okay. Because there's one more right after this. Pause it. Again, another double team. So I think is that RJ or is that, let me see it on my screen.
Caleb up here at the top.
Yeah, that's Caleb. So Caleb is at the top. Ball goes into the post. Caleb runs right away to double team. Again, if this was a call by North Carolina's coaching staff, I feel like they would have said, Caleb, when you go to double team, we are going to rotate behind you. The fact that nobody is rotating behind him makes me feel like that the double teams are happening kind of sporadically. Nobody really knows when the double team is going to come. So Caleb, go ahead and play it. He goes down to double team. There's no rotation. Bang, another open shot. Mm-hmm. So and so again, when they made all of these threes last night, and again, this is in the first half, they made 17 threes last night. And most of them were open shots like this because we were over helping and also not rotating, but our guards were putting us in a position to where when we went down to double team, our closeouts were way too long. Now, mind you, this is a point that I made to you earlier, Quierra, like off camera. The 3-point line in high school versus the 3-point line in college, there's a vast difference. Mm-hmm. So his closeout, where he is now, would have only been one step in high school. But now he has to close out about 3 steps, which means with a shooter, you SOL. Right. So those are the type things that North Carolina has to clean up a little bit, especially on the defensive end, as far as guarding the 3 that we will definitely continue to take a look at as the season progresses. But again, these are fixable things. And these are things, and again, they showed grit last night. They fought back second half. They came back and even took the lead for a little bit. But again, we continued to do some of these type things and gave up way too many threes. So again, these are fixable things, UNC fans. We can get this done. We just have to make sure that once the season kind of progresses, we get to a point to where these things aren't happening.
Right. Okay. So what's next? Carolina is not playing again until the 19th. What are the next steps in practice that they need to do to fix this?
So again, in practice, you just continue to drill what you've already been doing. And you watch the film, you go over plays like this, you understand, hey, when we give you guys a read or a call, we have to all be on the same page. Like the defense can only work as a 5-man unit. We can't go out and do things on our own because if I go out and do something on my own with nobody having my back, then it's gonna make me look bad. So if I go down and double when I shouldn't really be doubling, I don't have anybody to rotate for me. Because that's what basketball is about. If I'm going to do something, there's a chain reaction. There's a pull effect. If I do this, you do this. If I do this, you do that. That's what North Carolina was missing last night when it came to some of the threes that they gave up.
And from a player's perspective, how does Caleb Love really get the reins on this team as a leader, as a point guard for Carolina?
I think right now Caleb is pressing a little bit. Um, and like that's natural because when you have this, when you come in as a highly touted recruit, you want to like the whole one and done stigma thing is put on you. You feel like you have to live up to those expectations. Again, we've had players on this podcast that talked about, what it's like to figure out North Carolina's system. It takes more than 1 year. Now we've had guys that come in and kind of pick it up right away, but it takes more than 1 year. And so for Caleb, it takes more than 5 games. This ain't even been a year for him. So it takes more than 5 games. You haven't had a preseason, all of these exhibition games, you haven't had any of that. So it's okay right now. And I get it. Every player that comes to North Carolina, they want to play good. They want to play phenomenal. It's okay that he's not playing good. So, but it's up to him to continue to work through these things and to continue to push forward. Look at the Garrison now versus the Garrison that we saw his freshman year. Like we didn't see like the real Garrison until like the end of his freshman year. And then he carried that over into his sophomore year, carried it over into his junior year. Now, that's the same thing that's going to happen with Caleb. Now, again, he could be a one and done. This could be his only year that he's there at the University of North Carolina. But at the end of the day, I think he needs a little bit more time to be able to get the reins of this team and to be the player that he thinks he wants to be.
Now, who was your player of the game last night for Carolina?
Honestly, it was Andrew Playtech. Like it was Drew. Like because again, the expectation for Garrison is there.
Yeah.
The expectation for Day'Ron Sharpe is there. Like I don't. The player of the game for me that came in and kind of gave us a spark or did some things that I didn't. I ain't gonna say I didn't see, but the things that a senior should be doing, Andrew Playtech. So and I'm okay with that because I'm becoming a Playtech fan.
And Andrew Playtech finished last night with 10 points and was the only one that, almost perfected the three. He was 2 for 3 with 1 rebound. So,
yeah. He took a couple charges. It's some stuff that's going to show up that's not going to show up on the stat sheet that he did well last night. And again, that's the type of leadership you need coming off of your bench. Just to kind of put things into perspective for North Carolina. We still aren't shooting the ball well. I feel like our guards are still pressing a little bit, but again, all of those things will come with time.
Okay, so North Carolina plays December 19th at 2 p.m. against Ohio State, which won't be a cakewalk. And
not even close.
Yeah, and immediately following that is game time. There is no more week and a half off anymore. It's a game every 2-3 days. So yeah.
That means let's get it. Let's get it. And again, that's fine. Even if North Carolina goes and we lose to Ohio State. Like, okay, that's fine. Let's just continue to get better and better and better and better throughout the season. What happens is people get so caught up at the beginning of the year, and especially in a year like this, again, where COVID is kind of run rapid, you don't even really know if you're going to finish the season kind of deal because games are getting canceled left and right. But at the end of the day, we have to understand that this is kind of our preseason. We're still getting warmed up. We're still learning. We're still getting in the gym trying to figure everything out. So that's okay. Let this simmer down. Let this kind of come to fruition. And then North Carolina, I think, will be again, I don't see this being a national championship team, but at the end of the day, I think we're probably second, third round good of the NCAA tournament.
Second, third round.
Yeah.
At least give it Sweet 16. What? Okay. We can
it depends on the maturation of our guards. If we can't make shots, we can't beat nobody.
Yeah, you're right. So let's segue into last night's comments by Duke's head coach after Duke lost to Illinois 83-68.
Hey, that's one good thing. Hey, go ahead. Let me finish, and then I'll get into my spiel.
No, that's it. Duke lost to Illinois at home. And after the game, Coach K had some interesting comments concerning the progression of the season and whether it should be finished due to the rise of COVID-19 cases. Coach K says that within the next 6 weeks, it's predicted to get worse. And he just wants to reassess the basketball season. You know, what does it look like to continue the season? I hate you. Amid the rise of the cases. And yes, Coach K answered this question. I am not saying this because I got my butt beat today. I am saying this because the committee needs to reassess what we're doing and is it safe enough for the players mentally and physically to play. So yeah,
I'm glad you said it, and I know I'm laughing, but like I know this is a very very serious thing with COVID-19, and like with all regards, and again, it is funny because that's the same thing I thought. I was like, bro, you only saying that because y'all lost, but I will say this: the mental health is a very serious thing. And in these times, things are so different that uh, that is tough on these kids. Mm-hmm. To not be able to go home for Thanksgiving, not be able to go home for Christmas. Those were times that honestly, as a college athlete, bro, you look forward to, because you didn't get a spring break, you didn't get certain things because of the basketball season running into some of those breaks, fall breaks and things like that. So as an athlete, like you look forward to those stress relievers, those downtimes, those being around my family kind of deal. So I do understand when it comes to that. And then also, again, COVID is running rapid. In North Carolina, especially, like cases are up like with ridiculous numbers. So to a certain degree, I do agree with Coach K. It is time to maybe reassess like how we are doing certain things. And then I think Jay Billis, even last night during the game, he was talking about how, the NCAA said we weren't going to do this, and now we're doing it. We weren't going to do this, and now we're doing this. We weren't going to play in bubbles, and now we're playing in bubbles. So to me, I do think they need to get on one page, on one accord with all of the protocols and everything that they are doing, and especially to help some of these athletes who are being in quarantine and games getting canceled 30 minutes before the game and all that kind of stuff. So how are they going to do that? I don't know. Do you cancel the season? I don't know if that's the answer either. So me not being a doctor, me being more of a basketball fan than I am a doctor, I want to say, come on, let's keep playing. But at the end of the day, again, I think safety should be held first. So, whatever that means, I guess you kind of do it, and then you just kind of go from there.
When you mentioned Jay Billis, he also said that college basketball players are essential workers. So, David, our college athletes, I'm not just going to say basketball because we had soccer, we had baseball, we had, a multitude of other programs continuing to play. Our college athletes, essential players, because they're providing entertainment and also a sense of normalcy for people.
Absolutely, they are. But would I call them essential workers? Are they getting paid?
They're not getting paid. That's the issue that he was having. Yeah.
That's his point. That's his point. Don't put these kids in a situation to where they're doing this stuff for nothing.
Right.
Like, so I think that's his point, and which I completely agree with. Don't say that these kids are essential to life, and then or normalcy, mm-hmm. and then not compensate them as that. But again, that's a whole nother ball game outside of this. So but for me, I do agree with Jay Billis.
Okay.
But these shirts look good, bro.
They do look good, don't they?
Oh, Lamar, man, boy, you be doing your thing, what?
And so with the ACC Big Ten Challenge, David said he heard that it was 1-5. I'm looking at 0-5. Because Notre Dame lost, UNC lost, Virginia Tech lost, Duke lost, Syracuse lost.
Yeah, the Big Ten stacked this year, man. Like they got like 12 teams ranked.
Virginia Tech beat Penn State though, because Penn State's not even ranked. Yeah,
but they went in. But no, hold on. I know Penn State isn't ranked, but Penn State is really, really good.
Okay, wow.
Like I watched them play a couple times, and I really like their team. Penn State is well coached. They lock down defensively, like, and they can score the basketball. So I think I watched them. I think they lost the other night against Seton Hall. And Seton Hall is a pretty good team too. And they've just had some, some close losses. But I think the Penn State loss. Now, yes, it is a shocker that they went into Blacksburg and they did that.
Mm-hmm.
But it is a surprise. It is a surprise. But I for me, having watched them a few times, I like that Penn State team.
Okay. And tonight,
So,
wait, hold on, wait, before we hook it in. Tonight, not Virginia, I'm sorry, Florida State plays at 7:15 tonight against Indiana. And I believe that is the last of the Big Ten challenge. So yeah, that's it.
that's it.
That's it.
Because during the Duke game, they said we was like 1-4 or 1-3 at the time, and then when Duke lost, then when them bums lost, they.
I don't know.
I don't know who won then. I don't know.
Because the last time an ACC team played was the 4th. There hasn't been any other, so I'm not sure.
Right. I couldn't say that. But is everybody ready for my hook'em?
I am, because you keep doing it. So what is it?
As heartbreaking as it seems that North Carolina is this year, as far as the losses that we've had, we sweep Duke this year.
Oh, I thought you had like some really big news.
No, that is really big news. We sweep them bombs this year.
Oh Lord.
Yes.
I want to sweep Duke when they're good. I don't want to sweep Duke because they're bad.
No. Whoa. Don't do that now. Duke has the number 1 or number 2 or maybe number 3 recruiting class to come in this year. That means they good.
No, they don't. No.
Yeah, they did.
Look this up. Hold on.
Hey, it doesn't matter. I don't care if they're good or bad. You talking about you want to beat them when they're good. I want to beat them anytime.
No.
They did.
Where? I don't even see it. I think Kentucky had the best recruiting class.
No. I said,
you know what?
We were like number 3.
No, we were number 2.
Okay, we was number 2.
Well, I tell you, this is bad.
I said number 1, number 2, or number 3.
Oh, now you got both of us looking. Now you look crazy on YouTube trying to look at doggone. And let's see, it's currency. How do you search this? Best recruiting class. There we go. Hold on.
They number 3.
And who's number 2?
Don't know.
It's Carolina, and Kentucky was number 1. Like I told you.
Okay, I said number 1, number 2, or number 3. I just said that. They got the number 3 recruiting class.
But why doesn't Duke feel like Duke? What is it that's it just seems off? I don't know what it is, but Duke does not look or feel like a normal Duke team.
Yeah, they don't.
Something that, I don't know if we're missing the Cameron Crazies. Maybe that 6th man really is important for Duke, but
maybe it is.
It doesn't feel right.
Yeah, this don't feel nothing like a typical Duke team, and and I think what it is over the last few years they've always had that staple guy.
Yeah.
So whether it was Trey Jones, whether it was Tyus Jones, whether it was your Quinn Cooks or like they've always had, or even like your Nolan Smiths, like they've always had that staple guy, and pretty much at the point guard position that kind of held them down. Goldwire is good, especially defensively, but I don't think he's that leader type, or that can push them over the hump. When I say leader type, to get everybody to play at a different type of level. Again, Jalen Johnson, like him out of Wisconsin. German Roach, I think he won't be a one and done. So that I think now next year that'll kind of be your staple guy. Wendell Carter is it Wendell Carter? Yeah, he's not having necessarily the best year as far as as far as his numbers are concerned right now. And then everybody else just looks really outside of Hurt, like everybody else just kind of looks pedestrian for real.
Pedestrian. Yeah, you're right. All right. So outside of Duke losing last night, who is your team of the week
That just made me smile.
that shocked you?
You know who's shocking me? And again, and it shouldn't shock me because these jokers in the Big Ten, like the Big Ten got all these teams ranked. Rutgers. Rutgers is out here getting busy. Like they playing good basketball. Ron Harper Jr. out there averaging a Dubsky plus. Yeah. Like they are playing some good basketball. They beat Syracuse last night. Mm-hmm. Like they playing some good basketball and continuing to climb in the rankings. Like I really like that Rutgers team, man. So we'll see what they continue to do with it. But like I'm telling you, Rutgers is gonna be one of the teams that's gonna be a tough out in the NCAA tournament.
And my team is, I'm just gonna go with last night. I haven't seen Iowa play, so and last night they shot the hell out of me. I didn't know.
Really?
I think what shocked me most is the point that you made. We were so focused on Garza and guarding him. That was a name we consistently heard, but then they completely just Bohannon and Frederick, and they had other players who shot the ball exceptionally well that threw everything off, and they did very well. Besides that time of almost Carolina coming back, getting Carolina in foul trouble. I'm sold.
Yeah, like I wasn't surprised at all with that, because I even mentioned it on the podcast, the last podcast, and when we talked about us getting ready to play Iowa, and I said like the piece of us double teaming Luka Garza is because like it was going to be tough because they had shooters. Yeah. And I knew they had shooters. Now, did I know they were going to make 17 threes against us? No, but I also knew that North Carolina doesn't guard the three well. So honestly, I had this as a loss for us. I didn't see us going in. I didn't see us going to Iowa and being able to win, even though, again, going on the road nowadays isn't necessarily the same. But I didn't see this North Carolina team currently at where we are as far as, just the maturation of our season, beating that Iowa team to where they were at the beginning of the year. But that Iowa team is very, very tough.
Okay, now let's hit some fan questions. And the number one question that I keep hearing is, where is Ant Harris? Because that seems to be, for a lot of people, the missing piece for this team. So, David, where are we with Ant Harris, and is he coming back?
It is very much, I think he is very much the missing piece to this team. From what I've heard and from what I've seen, he is getting close. He is getting very, very close. I don't think they are allowing him just yet to get up and down, but he is in practice. He is playing 5-on-5. He's just not, he's only doing half court stuff right now versus actually getting up and down. So I wouldn't say you'll probably definitely see him after the new year, I think. So still hold your hopes for probably about, I would say, another 3 weeks to a month, maybe. Then I think we may get Anthony Harris coming off the bench, checking into the game for the first time, and hopefully giving us a spark. Because crazy part about it is, in practice, he looked good in the half court. So.
And Chris Williams also said on Monday that it's not going to be a surprise for anybody. There has been no update. He's still, like you said, at half court. He hasn't had a full, complete practice, and that Harris will be back when Ant is back. It seems every press conference, that's a consistent question. Where is Ant? Where is Ant? And I think it's funny that every time I see him on TV, he's in the corner somewhere eating. Like that Russell Westbrook meme of him sneaking food. Like he always is chewing something. But I'm excited to see Ant come back. The next question is, where's Sterling Manley? Where is he in his progression? And is he coming? Is he coming back? Well, yeah, is he coming back? Like, what?
I think it's, and again, he's in the same situation, half court type stuff. Getting ready. So I think him and Ant are kind of on a similar timeline. But I think for North Carolina, it will be it like Ant is probably more of the priority, just simply because it gets now we're deep. We're already a deep team, but what Anthony Harris brings to the floor is a little bit different from what Sterling will bring to the floor, and the fact that we're so deep at Sterling's spot, like we're not really missing anything right there. Where with Ant Harris, we're missing. He can shoot it a little bit. He can defend. He can get to the rim. So and he can open up the floor for us. So those are the type things that we are going to. And also on top of that, he's been in Carolina's system before. So now you gain a little bit more experience coming off of that bench. So that's what I think you get with when you get Ant Harris back versus a Sterling Manley. But at the end of the day, I think having both of those guys back will be good for us.
And lastly, this is a question for me because I'm wondering, what exactly do you think? Again, you don't know this. This is not some like insider information, but like why haven't we seen a consistent play from Puff Johnson? Like I really want to see what he's capable of, but it seems like we just see him for 2 seconds and he's gone.
Again, he's a freshman coming in, trying to learn North Carolina system. And the crazy part about it is, like I was thinking the other day, like how many guys have we had that came in that like kind of fit right in? Like their skill set was like right away, like, okay, this is North Carolina all day. Like, and the only people that I can think of over the past couple of years that it didn't necessarily take them like this learning curve to have was Kobe White and Cam Johnson.
Yeah.
Like Kobe White came right in and bang. It was his show from day one.
Yeah.
And Cam Johnson coming from Pitt to North Carolina, like it was like he fit in right away. And again, their skill sets like match North Carolina system for sure. So for Puff, I think it is just a matter of him kind of gaining a little bit more confidence, practicing a little bit more games, a little bit more, and then once he gets thrown out there, because again, right now I think Puff is kind of saying, and again, there's no inside information. This is just me kind of my eyes looking in. I think he's like trying to press too much as being a shooter.
Yeah.
And again, Caleb is trying to press too much as being a scorer. Where if you kind of like open it up a little bit and show every phase of your game, then everything else will start to open up for you. And I think that's what's happening with Puff. And I think he'll be, again, he's not a one and done guy. So year 2 and 3 is where you'll get the Puff Johnson that you thought you were going to get versus year 1. Everybody wants all of these freshmen to come in and be ready right away. But this is college basketball. This is a blue blood. This is at the highest level that you can play. Everybody ain't ready right away. It's going to take you a few seconds.
All right. That's all that I have for me. Anything else to wrap up?
That's it. Ladies and gentlemen, we want to thank y'all, man, for another edition of The Player and the Fan. We truly appreciate y'all joining us. Shout out to the boy again, All Lamar Clothing. Again, go to Instagram, follow him. He puts up hats and beanies and scullies and shirts. And again, he's a lot of North Carolina stuff. So all the North Carolina fans, go follow at All Lamar Clothing on Instagram. And don't forget about me and Quierra. Follow us too. You know what I'm saying? Don't be tripping. Don't be acting like that.
And also, the person who did our logo, also please follow Vito with My Canvas Aunties. He's amazing. Another one of our sponsors.
Vito, what's happening?
We're blessed to have an incredible circle who wants to see us win, and we're just thankful that we do have this immense support. So thank you for watching. I'm always excited about how many viewers we have. I text David like every 10 minutes, and it's exciting to see the growth of the podcast. So we appreciate you guys more than anything. So yeah, I'm done.
Yeah, we thank y'all, man. And again, keep coming back because we're going to keep breaking it down. We're going to keep giving y'all, I guess, I don't want to say the inside scoop because I don't really be having no inside scoop. I'm going off what I know from North Carolina. And plus, if I had the inside scoop, I wouldn't give it to y'all no way. I don't think I would. Would I?
I don't know.
I might.
I know. Maybe it's a good one that wouldn't like.
Yeah, if it's a good one, yeah. But if it's something I need to hold on to, I can't tell y'all. I'm sorry. It's just the way the family works. No, I'm talking about.
Oh, wow. Yeah, and so again, one more time, Carolina plays December 19th against Ohio State at 2 p.m. I'm going to assume it's going to be on ESPN or ABC, somewhere in the family. But yeah, that's it. Close it out, Dave.
That's it, ladies and gentlemen. We holla.